If you're a green card holder, you've worked really hard to build your life in the United States. Your family, your career, your home are all here. But things now have changed. USCIS is tightening enforcement, sharing a lot more data with ICE, and the US government is paying a lot closer attention to how permanent residents maintain their status in the United States. Even honest mistakes, things that people don't think twice about, can have serious problems. So in this video, I'm breaking down the 7 mistakes that green card holders cannot afford to make in 2025. And most importantly, what you can do to protect your permanent residency and your path to citizenship. Let's dive in. Let's first talk about staying outside of the United States for way too long. Permanent residents are expected to maintain their physical presence and their residency in the United States. So when they spend too much time outside of the United States, you can accidentally abandon your permanent residency. So this usually happens when you stay outside for a year or longer and you haven't maintained your ties to the US. Next time you return to the country, this can trigger strict scrutiny and even jeopardize your permanent residency. If you know ahead of time that you have to spend a year or more outside of the United States, you should consider applying for a re-entry permit. This is one of those things where people don't really think about until it's too late. So being proactive before you leave and take that extended absence from the United States can really be important. Mistake number 2 is ignoring your tax obligations. Lawful permanent residents need to understand that failing to file US taxes or filing as a non-resident can be seen as evidence of abandoning your permanent residency. Unpaid taxes is a big no-no for naturalization. So even if you have that re-entry permit because you need to work abroad, make sure you always file your taxes in the United States. Mistake number 3 is committing crimes. It's really important to know here that not all convictions will trigger removal proceedings, but there are many that do. Things like fraud, domestic violence, drunk driving with aggravating factors. These are really, really bad for permanent residents. If you're ever arrested and accused of a crime, it's really important that your criminal defense attorney warn you of immigration consequences. So when in doubt, speak to an immigration attorney who can explain to you the consequences of any plea or sentence that you may accept. In this situation, don't underestimate how even small issues can become big problems down the road. Mistake number 4 is for those individuals who got their permanent residency through marriage. Specifically, you have a 2-year green card and you're filing the wrong paperwork. If you have a conditional permanent residency card that you got through marriage, it's really important that you're not filing to renew your green card. Instead, you're filing to remove the conditions of your permanent residency. I've seen this mistake made dozens of times. We've been able to cure it, but it's definitely stressful and a cause for concern. And I think this is one that can really be avoided if you work with a qualified immigration lawyer. Don't just fill out forms randomly on your own without understanding exactly what you're submitting to immigration. Remember, every form, every application begins a new legal process, and that has serious consequences for your case down the road if not done correctly. Mistake number 5 is traveling when you're really not supposed to. If you're going through the adjustment of status process, it's really important that you don't travel unless you have permission to do so through advanced parole. The same applies if you are doing a change of status. My tip is to always consult your immigration attorney first before you travel, because travel while you're going through a change or an adjustment of status can lead to abandonment of that application or that petition altogether. And now that USCIS and ICE are sharing their data, these agencies are interconnected more than ever. So it's really important to be on top of the various different rules and policy changes specifically around travel. Mistake number 6 is forgetting the continuous residency requirement while you're a permanent resident. If you ever want to become a US citizen, it's really important to know that these continued absences from the United States can break the continuous residence requirement for naturalization. A quick rule of thumb is that if you plan on becoming a citizen one day, don't stay outside of the United States for longer than 6 months at a time. And when you become a US citizen, you are free to stay outside of the United States, traveling for as long as you wish. And finally, mistake number 7 is General failure to remain informed. It's more important now than ever that permanent residents maintain informed about the different changes that's going on in the world of immigration. The government has completely shifted its tone. It's a lot more enforcement driven. Different agencies are partnering closely with ICE, and they're even reviewing social media. You should always be prepared during interviews. Make sure you change your address with USCIS. Make sure also that you carry proof of your lawful permanent residence with you at all times. And last but not least, as soon as you become eligible, apply for citizenship. Being proactive is really your best defense. The more you prepare, the less likely you are to face any surprises down the road. These are all avoidable mistakes. Green card holders have every right to live and work here. But in 2025, that right comes with more responsibilities. Staying informed is the key to keeping your status secure. So my question to you is, what does your situation look like? If you want individualized guidance and assistance, please use the link in the description of this video to contact my office and I can definitely assist. We'll take a close look at your situation and help you plan the next best steps for your immigration journey. And make sure you follow my page for more information and tips about immigration. See you in the next video.